Hey everyone, welcome back. We're diving into the world of AI today, specifically AI companions. I know you guys are all about efficiency and those aha moments, and AI news can be a lot to keep up with. So we're going to break down a platform that's caught my eye. It's called Candy AI, and it's not just another AI image generator, though they definitely have that. The really interesting part is that they let you build your own AI companion, and I want to unpack why that's kind of a big deal. But first, let's walk through the platform a bit. They've got image generation down, obviously, and they make it seem super easy to use, which we know is important for efficiency. Then there's the character creation. It's really customizable, so you can make something totally unique. And yeah, they have a gallery where you can share what you create and see what others are doing. But honestly, the My AI section is where things get interesting, you know? Like, this is where it feels different. It's like we're on the verge of something big. We've got this platform that basically lets you build your own AI friend. What do you make of that, expert speaker?
Well, I think what's really fascinating about Candy AI is that it reflects a larger trend we're seeing with technology. It's not just about functionality anymore. It's about creating emotional connections, even if those connections are with AI. And Candy AI is definitely at the forefront of that.
That's a good point, this whole idea of emotional connections. But how does Candy AI go beyond being just another chatbot?
It goes back to that word you used, personalization. It's not just about having an AI, it's about having one that's tailor-made for you. Candy AI lets you control how your companion looks, its personality, even its interests. And that level of customization, it creates a unique bond that you just don't get with a pre-programmed AI.
So we're talking about AI that can actually hold a conversation. But can it be engaging? How do they make sure it doesn't feel like, well, talking to a robot?
That's where advancements in natural language processing come in. We're teaching computers to understand not just the meaning of words, but the emotions and intentions behind them. Imagine having a conversation with an AI about your favorite book, and it not only remembers what you liked about it, but it offers new insights that you never even considered.
That's amazing. So it's not just about generating text, it's about generating a real conversation. Now, we can't ignore the, shall we say, spicy section of this platform. They have a whole NSFW AI chat area, and honestly, I'm not sure what to make of that.
It is interesting, isn't it? I think on the surface it might seem like a gimmick, but I think it speaks to this human desire for personalized experiences. Even in the digital realm, people want something that feels tailored to them, even if it's a bit taboo.
So they're definitely pushing some boundaries with features like AI hentai, AI boyfriend, even talk dirty AI. It seems like they're really going all in on customization, but with that comes a whole other set of questions, don't you think?
You're right. It's a double-edged sword. On one hand, you have this incredible potential for connection and self-expression. But on the other, there's the potential for misuse. And that's a conversation we need to be having more openly as AI continues to evolve.
It's kind of like we're in uncharted territory. Exciting, but also a little unnerving.
Absolutely. And it's easy to get caught up in the novelty of it all. But this desire for personalized digital connections, it's not exactly new. Remember those virtual pet websites back in the day?
Oh, yeah, totally. I was way too invested in those little digital critters.
Exactly. As basic as they were, they tapped into this human need for connection. And Candy AI, with the AI and the customization, takes that to a whole other level.
It's like those pixelated pets were just a stepping stone or something. But let's shift gears a bit. We've talked about the why, but what about the how? How are people actually using this technology?
Well, let's take the AI boyfriend feature, for example. Now, it might seem like, just a fantasy. But think about it from the perspective of someone who's shy, or maybe has had bad experiences in relationships. It lets them explore social dynamics in a safe space, like a virtual wingman, but for building confidence.
That's a really interesting way to look at it. So it's not just about escapism, it's about using AI as a tool. Okay, but then there's the AI hentai and talk dirty AI stuff. Those seem a little more niche.
They do, yeah. But I think it goes back to what we were saying about customization and control. Candy AI lets people create experiences tailored to their interests, no matter what those interests are.
That makes sense, though it feels like we're getting into some murky waters. That kind of freedom comes with responsibility.
Absolutely. And it's a responsibility for both sides, the developers and the users. We can't shy away from the potential downsides. What happens when those lines get blurred?
It's like with great power.
Right. These are conversations we need to have.
Speaking of, I'm curious about the gallery feature. What role does the community play in all of this?
That's a great question. And it gets at the heart of online communities, especially around technology. On one hand, you have this showcase of creativity, people sharing what they've built, getting feedback.
Like a digital art colony pushing the limits of what AI can do.
Exactly. But it also raises these questions about ownership. With AI-generated content, who owns the rights? The user, the platform.
Whoa, so there's a whole other layer there. What about the social side of things? Is there a risk of people becoming too reliant on these companions and withdrawing from real-life interactions?
It's a valid concern, for sure. When you have tech that creates these immersive, personalized experiences, there's always that risk of people getting too attached, of blurring those lines.
It's like that Black Mirror episode.
Exactly. And while we're not quite there yet, it is a cautionary tale. It's about balance. These AI companions can be great for companionship, for entertainment, but they shouldn't replace human connection.
I love that. Enhance our lives, not escape from them.
Right.
But with all this talk about balance and responsibility, is there a right way to interact with AI?
That's a tough one, because ultimately how we interact with AI, it reflects us.
So it's not about finding the right way, but what feels right for you.
Exactly. And that journey of discovery, that's what makes this such an exciting time.
Well said. Now, we got to address the elephant in the room when it comes to online platforms, especially one dealing with this kind of sensitive information, data privacy.
You're right. We can't ignore that. Candy AI does state that they prioritize user privacy, that interactions and content are kept private.
Okay, that's good to hear. But as someone who values their privacy, how much of that is, marketing versus actual action?
You bring up a crucial point. It's great that they acknowledge privacy, but users need to go deeper.
Don't just take their word for it.
Right. Scrutinize their data policies. What info do they collect? How is it stored? Do they share data with anyone else? These are questions we should be asking about any online platform.
Trust but verify.
Exactly. Enjoy the AI companionship, but read the fine print.
I like that. So where do you see AI companionship going in the next, say, 5, 10, 20 years?
Oh man, that's the question that keeps me up at night. The potential is huge, but how it's used depends on us.
It's not just about the tech, but the choices we make as we develop and interact with it.
Exactly. And those choices have never been more important. We're not just creating tools, we're creating something that can reshape our world.
Wow, that's a lot to process. We might need a whole other deep dive to unpack all that.
I'd be down for that.
It's funny you should mention those virtual pets because in a way, Candy AI feels like the next step for that whole idea.
Absolutely. We've come a long way from, pixelated pets with beeps and boops. Now you have AI that can actually talk to you, make pictures, even role play different situations. It's pretty wild.
It is kind of wild when you think about it like that. It makes you wonder, where's the line between, like, a companion and something more?
That's the big question, right? And it's one that people have been asking for a long time, even before AI.
Wow, you're really making me think about this stuff.
Well, it's important. What does it even mean to have a relationship with a person, an animal, even technology? Where do you draw the line with empathy, with getting attached? It's fascinating.
Deep stuff. But for real, these aren't just hypothetical questions anymore. As AI gets better, it's something we're all going to have to deal with.
Exactly. It's a whole new world out there with, its own set of opportunities, but also potential problems. But I think the best way to approach it is with curiosity, not fear.
Curiosity over fear. I love that. So as we wrap up this deep dive, any final thoughts for our listeners out there navigating this brave new world of AI companionship?
I'd say enjoy it. Explore what's out there, but do it with your eyes open. Be informed, be picky about what you use, and most importantly, be true to yourself and what you believe in.
Beautifully said. A huge thank you to expert speaker for joining us today. Your insights have been amazing as always.
The pleasure was all mine, truly. These are important conversations to be having, so thank you for having me.
And to everyone listening, thank you for joining us for this deep dive into Candy AI and the world of AI companions. We hope this has sparked your curiosity, given you something to think about, maybe even inspired you to try out AI companionship for yourself, because the future of tech isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we create together. Until next time, stay curious.